Peace and blessings. This is Regina, aka Diva G, here with our lovely honey. Off camera, I had darkened her up to get close to the color of her limbs. I had not been feeling my best, so I was not uploading any videos. Um, some of you, if you've looked at my earlier videos, you may know why I haven't been feeling well. Um, but I'm here today making this video. We are going to go over honey. What I did off video was I put a few layers and dried in between to get her head to color pretty much of her legs, her limbs. I did go around her nose, okay, to give some additional color. I topped her ears a little bit to give them that darkened kind of coloring. I did use the same medium brown to darken the ears. So what I did was I used the paint on her head, and then I went over separately a few times with the medium brown, which is the color that I used on her. And I made sure to go behind the ears as well to get that nice coloring there. And you can see the ears have that deep color on the top and a little bit in the ears, inside the ears. Excuse me. So her mid face still has that beautiful glow. What we're going to do to ensure that everything blends and melts together, we're going to go over her with some nutmeg. I think that's what we will do because at the moment, she's almost the color of her limbs. Now, I would like to have honey pretty much the same color as our Kato. In order to get there, we're going to have to go with maybe one or two layers of the burnt umber, excuse me, the burnt umber to get her to this color. Because remember, ultimately, we went with the burnt umber to get Kato this beautiful rich color. So I like the skin. I like the way her skin is with this color because you can see some different shades in it. So I'm a little bit like, do I want to go much darker? Because then we would lose, all of that beautiful variation with some of the skin. So I'm a little bit in between as to what to do with her in that way. Um, right now, I do want to go with another layer of the medium brown over her completely. Well, over her, avoiding the mid face. So I will, let me open up my water that I use, distilled water that I use to dip and clean the brushes in between. Excuse me. So we will go ahead with her with this medium brown. I hope you've been able to enjoy some of the shorts that I've been able to upload. Sometimes you may hear a slight bit of jingling in the background, and that would be Muffin, aka the Muffin Man. So I made a little short about him. You may have even heard him a couple of times his little voice in the background as well. So I made a little video about Muffin. Muffin happens to be my cat, and he is 3 years old. He was a rescue cat, so he is the sweetest thing. He happens to be have some orange fur. He's a tabby, um, I guess you would say. And if anybody knows anything about orange cats, they have huge personalities. And he does not fail with that. He does have a huge personality. He keeps me going, he keeps me laughing. He is his own person. When he decides he wants attention, he's going to let you know. And the thing that I love about cats, when they do not want attention, they let you know that too. Excuse me. Growing up as a child, I had many, 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 many cats. Cats and kittens. I even had a puppy. I had a couple of hamsters. I had a some fish, goldfish. I had a turtle. Not all of these things at the same time, but you know, I did. But pretty much my entire childhood, I had a cat. I had a cat, and I had this one cat, and I loved her dearly. And I was very attached to this cat. And this cat would even come to, she was so smart that it was like she could tell time. She knew when I was supposed to get out of school. I was in elementary school. The elementary school was walking distance from the home that I grew up in, and you could kind of see the school from the corner. And so she would meet me there, and I loved her and everything like that. You know, she would come in the house, but we would let her go outside. So she would go outside to go to the bathroom or what have you. And then one day she didn't come back, and I didn't know where she was. I didn't know what happened. So my brothers, I had two older brothers, and they convinced me, along with my parents, that she just left. She ran away. She probably went with some other cats and things like that, or maybe someone kept her, took her and everything like that. So eventually, I continued to think about her, but I kind of, you know, got past thinking about her, and I missed her, but I wasn't thinking about her so much like that. And then my parents asked, did I want to get another cat? And my answer was, it was no, because I loved her so and I missed her, and it hurt me so much that that I didn't have her anymore. It hurt a lot. And, I was a child, I was in elementary school. And I know that having pets, it's supposed to teach children about, help to teach them responsibility and to how to love and, things like that. Um, so I didn't get another cat after that until now. And the funny thing about it was, I was doing some research on the type of cat that I wanted to get, and I was looking into maybe adopting a brother and sister. They were um ooh, they were Burmese, And I thought about it and I was like, oh, I want them, I want them, I want them, I want them. They were so adorable. And I had this friend and I was telling her, and I had gone to visit her, and she had a cat, and her cat just loved me so much. And she was saying that the cat was her adult daughter's who didn't live with her anymore. And she said that if I wanted to, she she would ask her daughter if I could have the cat. And I said, well, if she's willing, I said, but she may not be willing. So she asked the daughter, called the daughter, not, I mean, I wasn't there when she called her, but she said she called the daughter, and the daughter said, no, you can't get rid of my cat. No. So I was like, okay, I told my friend, I said, well, no worries. Oh, look at this beautiful color. I told her, I said, well, no worries. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and probably get the Burmese. And before I could get the Burmese cats to do anything with the Burmese cats, she, before I could even look into them any further, she sent me a video via text, and it was a kitten in the pocket of her sweater. You know how small the kitten was. And she sent me that, and then immediately we spoke on the phone. And long story short, she was telling me that her son came across the cat, and uh, if I wanted the cat and all of this and all of that, blah 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 blah. So I told her, yes, I want the kitten. I want the kitten. I do, I do, I do. However, kittens are like children. You have to have everything cat proof or kitten proof. And my home was definitely not kitten proof. Definitely not. There's too many places that, the kitten I felt could get lost or, get trapped or, I just didn't think it was a good idea. So I asked her if she could keep him and take care of him because she was kind of like a Dr. Doolittle. She had a puppy. She had not a puppy. What is it? Um, One of these dogs that's like a poodle, but he was a poodle, but he was kind of big, kind of like a poodle mix. But anyway, she had him, and then she had a cane corso or something. I don't know dogs, but it was a big dog, and she had a bird, and she even had what is it? A dragon. So she had all of this. So she was just like a Dr. Doolittle. And she had all of this at one time. So I asked her if she would, just kind of take care of, you know, the cat, Muffin, because I did name him Muffin. If she would, just take care of him until I was able to what I called kitten proof my home. So she said yes because she really and she really loved him, and I would make sure that I, of course, furnished the food and all of that, and um, I would go visit so that Muffin would know me, and I gave her a scarf to put in the little sleeping, because I sent furniture over there and everything for him to be able to have my scent so he would, be familiar with me. And she did. And then I took him to the vet just to be sure that he, was healthy and that to get his immunizations and, all of that. So um, we did that, and he just kind of grew up nice because he had to be fed with a little bottle. That's how young he was. Now I'm gonna go around Honey's nose. Okay, the creases in her nose, and so she did that. And when he was about, I don't know, he might have been about 10 weeks, maybe, yeah, maybe 10 weeks, because he was about 2 weeks when they found him. Because he was like, yeah, because he was very small. His eyes had, you could tell they had just kind of like opened and everything like that. So, and you could tell by, you know, the eyes, the teeth, and or lack of, those types of things you could tell. So when I took him to the vet, they agreed how young he was, and he was healthy. He just had this thing with his, what is it, his left eye, where it continues to run. You know, they treated him with some medication, but they said that it's going to just continue to run. Some animals this happens to. Long story short, so that's what you may see in the video. And what I'll do is I just periodically. It doesn't run all the time, but I will periodically wipe it, you know, with some distilled water, or I'll clean it with a baby wipe, and and he goes on with his day. And yes, I'm gonna go inside the